The daily life hero, the inconvenient truth. Touch, move, and inspire 1 million people by 2030. Yes, that's right. I'm already ending the season one and jumping onto season two. Ready for season one highlights? Season two coming soon. Are you ready for a deep conversation? Deep conversation with the daily life hero. Who are the guests? Watch more. Thank you. I am so very grateful to all the viewers and listeners and to all daily life heroes. We have been able to touch, move, and inspire more than 100,000 people, and there are more than 8,000 subscribers for our channel. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. Share, share, share. You never know who needs to hear this. Thank you. Look at the stats. I am glowing. So many people are jumping on and sharing and absolutely loving our podcast. Thank you. And this one, especially this podcast, has been most loved by people, more than 12,000 views. Go watch it now. Shh, season two is coming. Do something kind for a stranger. It has so much power. Thank you. Can't believe we did that. 10 episodes done right. Forever grateful for those 10 episodes because they were magical, isn't it? And that's how it started. Ready? Whoop whoop. And oh my god, what an episode! First episode with my daughter, and it has been such an amazing journey. Love that. And what a journey. We were able to touch, move, and inspire 200 people and 13 subscribers just after our first episode. Wasn't that amazing? Thank you.
That it's okay to be imperfect. Perfect. Yeah. I love that. You remind me of so many my things. So thank you. All right. Well said. So I would just say to this all our listeners that self-compassion and self-love is a skill that all of us must develop because that is a gateway to so many opportunities that you can't begin to imagine. So go for it. Self love, self compassion. There's so many videos that I've published on my social medias. Go for it and dig for these videos. So it's very important. So thank you.
Everything bothered me,
Mm.
and then it was terrible. It was terrible. It became so painful
Wow.
that I couldn't handle it anymore.
Mm.
I just couldn't handle living like that anymore. And that was probably one of the biggest things that at the time I didn't realize what was happening.
Mm.
Now going on this journey, I can see how I was.
Mm.
And in the process of shifting, starting to shift my capacity to see beyond what I knew, that's when the light started coming again. And the hope and the happiness and the contentness. And then I had a spring in my step, and then I was loving myself. I didn't even know what it meant to love myself.
Wow. Yeah.
I didn't understand the word acknowledge myself.
Been there.
right? I did not understand that, the words, your tribal cycle.
Oh my God. I had so many questions for you, but you have answered so much itself. But now I'm wondering and I'm curious, and I'm sure our listeners are curious as well. There were so many ups and downs in the journey that you have had. What was one thing that kept going? What was that life skill that kept you going? What was that? What was that magical thing? Was it your self-reliance? Was it your support system? What was it? What kept you going?
It's a really good question.
I have a spiritual awakening. And I saw my dad and granddad holding my car's bull bar, stopping me. And I was like, what the hell you both are doing here? And they said, you don't deserve this. Millions of people are waiting for you. What you are going through, they are going through ages. Stop the car right now. And thank God there was no car behind me. I stopped the car. I just pull up the handbrake and I get down without turning off my car. I get down and I cried and cried and cried. And I spread my arms and I look at the sky and I said, I'm so sorry, God, but I'm totally helpless. And then I feel the warmth of the hug of my dad and granddad. And they said, go back. You had enough. Go back. People are waiting for you. Heal yourself and then help others to heal. And my guru, he called me and he said, Fiza, you come here. Join this. I said, sir, all males here. So what? You are going to lead them. Rachna, there was 10 males and only I was there. He was the one who helped me to bring my potential. And that was unstoppable journey. And I become more confident, and that is start increasing my confidence. And at home, my home environment, they start suppressing me more and more and more. You can imagine evolution, separation, evolution, separation. The more I evolve, the more they suppress me, because I am a girl who is going to marry me, who is going to, accept me because I'm very clever.
So I was balancing working full time and then studying on the weekends. So I'd go 2 weeks sometimes where I'd work 5 days, full weekend study, 5 days before I'd get a day off. But because it's such a beautiful modality where we get to give and receive the balances of kinesiology sessions, it didn't feel like I was studying.
So how is your holistic healing helps people to release the pain, or to release not pain as much but the emotions? Because when you are able to regulate those emotions, pain just disappears. It's not there because it was just seeking your attention. So how does your work integrate in this kind of work?
And she says, a man is like a sweater. And I'd say this about any person, it doesn't have to be a man. A person is like a sweater. If you pull one thread, the whole thing could unravel. So we need to be careful when we start messing with other people's way of being. We can focus on who we are and let them focus on who they are. One thing I can tell you is it most definitely is going to be a different world in the future. It is. Whether we have control over it or not, it's different. Every day is different. Every day is different to yesterday. Different and progressive and moving forward. especially when we look at what's happening on the technology side of things with AI, with the way people are learning, with the way people are working, and with the way people are communicating. So the key really is to embrace that.
So just remembering that I've set my boundary, the other person doesn't like it, that's not a reflection on me, that's a reflection on them, and then being okay with that. And the more we do it, the more we grow, the easier it becomes, the more flow you have with these hard conversations. And before you know it, you'll be having a huge conversation with someone and look back and go, wow, that was an amazing conversation. I've done that recently. I had a conversation. I was like, wow, so this is such an adult conversation. Thank you. Like this is the most respectful conversation I've ever had with an adult. This is great. You know, and celebrate the wins. Celebrate that you did it, even if it was hard and it was clunky.
And that's I love that. And I love the frames and the structure that you offer to people, that it is accept that you're not liking it. As you said, we are not taught. But the more you become aware, the more you regulate, and then you have that grown-up conversation. Oh my God, this is amazing. This is another level. Because, hi, you know, people are people pleasers.
Because I came to understand that fear was stopping me from experiencing all the love in the world.
Wow.
Everything that I wanted.
Wow.
And because if you take off fear from your life, all you have is love.
That's
you know.
it.
So fear stops you from you're scared, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not qualified, I'm not smart enough, or it's too hard. It's too hard because our brain doesn't know what is right, what's wrong. We just feed it whatever it is, and then it gets it. So for over 30 years plus, I lived with limiting beliefs. I had a deep ocean of limiting beliefs. I can't do this. I'm not qualified. I'm not smart. I know all the excuses in the world. You can have all the excuses in the world, but you're still going to get the same results if you still stick to the same excuses.
Tell us who you are. Tell us your story. Tell us what makes you who you are today, and what inspired you to share your story.
I believe coming from a tough background, I grew up in a remote area in Western New South Wales on a farm, and we didn't have the support that we do nowadays. We didn't even have proper electricity, so my mum did it really tough. I'm the youngest of 7 children, and yeah, my father was really abusive, so children were to be seen and not heard, and my mum tolerated that shocking treatment for 25 years. Finally getting the courage when the older children went off to uni and left home, she finally got the courage to leave, and she was terrified of my father. So she put the 2 youngest into a school hostel, me being one of them. We were homeschooled prior to high school. And and she moved to Sydney, 800 kilometres away. So it was a tough upbringing. So, and I went through life not having much self-love. Struggled at school, left school, couldn't even read very well. And went into the workforce, settled in a young relationship. I was 16 and settled into a really serious relationship.
Within 10 minutes and said to me, Catherine, you are not feeling. And I'm like, what do you mean I'm not feeling? I got a lot of emotions happening right now. Disappointment, sadness, frustration, anger. She goes, no, you're not allowing those feelings inside. There's something that's connected, that's disconnected inside you, and you don't feel it internally. And I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about. And I just rejected everything. And then she said something which was, I hope it's okay to say here, but she said it's linked with some trauma that you've had in your childhood that's not been dealt with. And when she said that, I could feel just myself go pale, and I just shut down and didn't say anything. And then she went on to do her next person and everything like that, and went on. And it was that moment that like time kind of froze, and I had my very first panic attack. A fascinating side story about Pandora's box, if you ever get a chance to Google it or look at it. At the bottom of the box, when all the atrocities had come out and she'd lost all kind of
you know, everything was bad and everything was out in the world, in the bottom of the box was a little spark of hope. And that was what I found. I didn't find it for some time. It took me a while, but I did find it.
And before we end, I have this inspirational quote, and I absolutely love it. This is from Steve Jobs, which totally aligns to what Catherine just said. The only way to do a great work is to love what you do, which means you can love yourself and automatically everything else follows. In a gentle way, you can shape the world. Just start with you. Thank you so much for listening, listeners.